What's up everyone? My name is Abby, I like to read, and there are a lot of books coming out in June. So today I'm going to be going over some books that are coming out in June that sounded interesting to me. There are a lot of books coming out. I think there were like 42 on the list. So I'm not going through all those. I don't got time for that. And so I just picked out some of the ones that I found interesting that I read the description. And a lot of them are like YA fantasy. I didn't do a lot of contemporary just because I don't read a lot of contemporary. And so if you want to know about the newest releases of YA contemporary, this is not the video for you. But I'm gonna like give you like a description, a small description of all of them. Also, one thing is that books come out like on the same day quite often. Like I have a bunch of June 2nd and then I have a bunch of June 23rd. So that's interesting that books like to come out on the same day. So first I will start off with the sequels coming out in June. And some of the books that I looked at on this list, I didn't include them even though they're on like a June list because of everything that's happening right now, they have been moved to a later date. So I didn't include those books because they're not coming out in June anymore. The first sequel is coming out on June 2nd, and it is My Comedy Jane by several different authors. Cynthia Hands, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. I've heard a lot about this series, but I had never actually read a description. The covers just kind of didn't appeal to me, and I admit I cover buy. Sometimes if I don't like the cover, I'll be like meh, and I won't give it a chance, which is not good. I need to stop doing that. But this is the third book in the Lady Janies series. I don't know, it's G-A-N-I-E-S. Janies? I don't know. The first book is called My Lady Jane, and the second one is My Plain Jane. So this book is about a girl named Jane, and her cousin Edward is the King of England, and he wants her to marry a guy, but there's something about him that seems a little odd, and that something is that he turns into a horse. So that sounds interesting. The next sequel is coming out June 9th, and that is The Shadow Wand by Laurie Forst. This is the third book in the Black Witch Chronicles, and I'm actually currently reading the second book. I received this book as an art on NetGalley, and I didn't realize that it was the third book, so I was like, oh, I better go read the first two. And this book series is about a girl named Ellerin, and she is part of a race called the Gardnerians, I think, and they are like mages, they have magic, and her grandmother, who she looks exactly alike, was called the Black Witch, and she apparently like was like the most powerful mage, and since she looks exactly like her grandmother, everyone thinks that she is the next Black Witch. And it's just about her going to university and kind of her eyes opening about different things in her race's past and stuff like that. I didn't exactly enjoy the first book. Like the first 3/4 of it was just very much like school drama, stuff like that. But the last fourth of it was super action-packed. I really liked it, and I am enjoying the second book so far. So the third book comes out June 9th. And the last sequel that I have on this list is also coming out June 9th, and that is The Boundless by Anna Bright. This is the sequel to The Beholder, and this is about a girl named Seela, I believe, and she is the daughter of the leader of the Potomac. Not sure what that is, but her mom sends her away across the sea to meet with a bunch of potential suitors, and she tells her, you either come back engaged or don't come back at all. So I have not read this book, but it sounds interesting. Okay, and now for the books that are the first in their series, brand new series coming out. There's a bunch, let me tell you. So there are 3 coming out on June 2nd. Is The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. This is being marketed as Les Miserables, Les Miserables? Les Miserables. That book, I don't know. Meets Six of Crows, about a young thief who finds herself going up against the leaders of an underground criminal thing in Paris. So that sounds really interesting. I think that this might be a book in one of the subscription boxes, a limo crate maybe. I don't know. Don't hold me to that, but it sounds really interesting. The second book coming out June 2nd is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. This book sounds crazy. It is the first in a duology, which I think we need more duologies in this world. Everything's like a trilogy or like 1,000 books. So I think duologies are super cool. It is about a guy named Malik, and Malik's younger sister is kidnapped, and the person that kidnapped her is saying that in order to win her freedom, Malik needs to kill the crown princess. There's magic in this book, it's a fantasy, and it sounds super cool. I haven't heard a ton about it, but I think it could be a pretty cool read. And the third book coming out on June 2nd is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This is about a girl named Tavia who is a siren, and in this world, well, I think it's like normal world, like Earth, sirens are like a known thing, which I always think is really cool in books where it's like a normal world, but the whole human race is like aware of supernatural creatures, but they're not like accepted by society. And so Tavia is a siren, and she lives in Portland, and she is just trying to like get through her life, and she accidentally lets her song come out during a police stop, so then she has to deal with the consequences of that. And on Goodreads, it doesn't have, like, it's a part of a series, so I'm wondering if it's a standalone. If it is, that's pretty cool. But it seems like a cool mix of real world and sirens, so that's kind of cool. The next book I'm super excited for. I don't know if it's just because it sounds really good or because we share a birthday, but it is coming out June 3rd, and it is Divine Blood by Beck Michaels. This is a dark fantasy about a girl named Dinah. It's Dyna. Dinah. But a shadow demon has recently taken everything from her, and it's gonna come back for more. And so she goes on a journey to fight this demon, and on the way she meets Cassiel. And he's a celestial prince, and he has wings, and oh, he sounds so dreamy. And this book, it's a dark fantasy, so a little bit nitty gritty, and I'm so excited. It's being compared to Throne of Glass and Lord of the Rings. Also, this cover is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, so dreamy, and I really want it. I want to buy it. The next book is coming out June 9th, and that is Hood by Ginny Elder Moak. And this is about a girl named Isabel, and her mother is named Marion, and Isabel gets arrested for defending some villagers who she thinks are innocent, and this arrest causes her to be put on the radar of King John's right-hand man named Wolf, and her mom Marion rescues her and helps her escape, and she says, you need to find your father, Robin Hood. It doesn't seem like a retelling of Robin Hood, but like a continuation of like his kid, so that sounds like super cool. The next book is coming out June 16th, and it is called The Kinder Poison by Natalie May. And this like little blurb on Goodreads like got me going. Like, oh my gosh. It said, perfect for fans of Victoria Aveyard and Holly Black, this enthralling fantasy adventure follows teenage girl chosen to be the human sacrifice in a deadly game between three heirs who will do anything for the crown. If that doesn't like pull you in, I don't know what will. Cause oh my gosh, that sounds really good. The next book comes out June 18th, and that's Royal Decoy by Heather Frost. This book also sounds so good. Based on the description, it seems like it's going to be a like multi-point of view, because there's two sides. One side over here, there's a girl named Claire who is a kitchen maid, and one night something goes wrong, and she is then taken to be trained as the princess's decoy. And so she has to go and learn how to be the princess's double, and she has to learn self-defense, and she has something like going on with a bodyguard, so that's going over there. And over here, in like another part of this world, there is a prince who has to do everything that his father says, because his father has a person as a prisoner who the prince loves. And so if he doesn't do what his father says, then his father will kill this girl that he loves. So, this sounds pretty good if you put those two together. I don't know how they'll fit together, but that sounds pretty awesome. I have 4 books on this list that are coming out June 23rd. The first book is Forest of Souls by Lori M. Lee. This is about a girl named Saoirse who has been training to become the queen's royal spy, and something happens and her friend dies, but she is somehow able to bring him back to life. And she's like the first person that anyone remembers that can do this. And so she is summoned by the Spider King to do his bidding. And so this book is basically her journey and her awakening her powers. And the cover is like awesome. I love how like dark it is, and like, oh, it's gonna be another dark book. The next book coming out June 23rd is Seasons of the Storm by El Cosimano. I don't know. This is about a book named Jack Summers, who is faced with the choice to either die or become an immortal being. And so he chooses to become immortal. And so he is made into a winter. So it's kind of like, I don't know, the description is kind of confusing. So he became winter, and every year he must hunt the season before him. So like summer kills spring, autumn kills summer, winter kills autumn, and spring kills winter. So Jack is a winter, and he meets Fleur, who is a spring, and they fall in love, and so then they have to figure out how to break the cycle so they don't have to kill each other. I have never heard of anything like this book, so it's definitely going to be an interesting read. Have you guys ever read about like seasons? People becoming seasons and then killing the other seasons? I don't know, that just sounds really out there and pretty cool. The next book coming out June 3rd is Sisters of Sword and Song by Rebecca Ross. This book is a standalone fantasy, which there aren't a lot of those. I think I've only heard of one other standalone fantasy. This book follows 2 sisters, Evadne. Fantasy books, they have some hard names to pronounce. Evadne and Halcyon. I'm so sorry, guys. But basically, Evadne is going to be reunited with her sister after 8 years while her sister was at war. But her sister comes back earlier than expected, and because she is being hunted by the commanders because they say that she committed murder, and there's a trial and her life was spared, but she was having to serve a pretty harsh punishment. But her sister, Evadne, gosh, those names, they're so hard to pronounce, decides to take over her sentence because she wants to figure out what actually happened. And the last book that I have coming out on June 23rd is Hunted by the Sky by Tanaz Bathina. This is about a girl named Gul. I'm just so sorry about all these names. I cannot pronounce names. I'm gonna say Gul. And she has spent her life running because she has a star-shaped birthmark on her arm, and it has been known that people with this birthmark go missing, and it was actually what caused her parents to be murdered, and so she has been in hiding to protect her life. But she is found and taken in by a group of women called the Sisters of the Golden Lotus, and they take her in and they train her and they teach her magic called warrior magic. And Gul wants revenge. That is her goal. That is Gul's goal. This book is also about a guy named Cavis, and he is ready to sign up for the king's army because his father is very sick and he will do anything to save his life. And he meets this mysterious girl named Gul. So this is their journey together. So those were all the books that I am excited for coming out in June. You know, once again, there are a lot more books coming out in June than on this list. So I will link the Goodreads list of all the young adult books I have coming out in June. And thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry. Also, check that list out because my descriptions are not good. I'm really sorry. I'm so bad at giving book descriptions. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Evadne. hold on, not, blah, blah, blah.